Something like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
Agreement by which we can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead, hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen other people do it well, but what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do for helping the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media, share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, today we are back with another interesting topic. Interesting link in the description, y'all. If you don't know about the Roger Report Live, you always want to check to see if there's a link in the description. There's some very interesting stuff that goes on out here. And just a little easier to hit a link and check it out than to not really know what's going on. And, you know, when we're referring to something, now you know what we're referring to. Well, we talk about links start in the description. Will there be one every day? No, but a lot of times you will see a link in the description to know what we're referring to. Okay? But we about to get into this, y'all. This one was very interesting. It was problems all over the place, if you ask me. Problems all over the place with this one. But before we get too far into this, first of all, let me give credit what credit is due. Shout out to my main man, y'all. Y'all know there's a lot of people here who do a lot of great things. I appreciate everybody who give me consistent views. Appreciate y'all big time. You know, show don't work without audience. Yeah. Shows don't work without an audience. So shout out to all the people who give the consistent views. Glad to have you aboard. Glad you're part of the family. Shout out to everyone who hits that like button. Y'all know it's a big deal. Shout out to everybody who hits that like button. Shout out to all the people who hype me up, y'all. Hype me up every chance you get. Hype me up every chance you get. But shout out to all the people who does it. Okay? And shout out to the people who go above and beyond the call of duty, the people who become financial supporters of the channel, the financial contributors, like my main man, Black Man Being Brutally Honest. Shout out to Kev. Always doing great work, y'all. Always doing great. If you haven't checked out his channel, you need to do so. You definitely need to do so. That's my main man right there, y'all. That's my main man. The guy who kind of pushed me over the edge. Probably when it came to the content creator. He might have been that last brick. You know, sometimes you got to get hit with a couple bricks. Sometimes he might have been that last brick to push me over the edge to get going. Now, shout out to my brother, man. Shout out to my brother. Real talk. And let me give some shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning. When you start the show, it's always great to see people checking in at the beginning, but y'all know how it goes over here at the Roger Report Live. There can only be one. And shout out to that one for today. My main man, Trail Bentley, is in the house. He is what we like to call the Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. And of course, he's representing as he always does. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag hell Hydra. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Always great to see you. Always great to see you. We got Tunnel running in the house right behind him. The righteous teacher is here. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. We got Devon Townsend in the house. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. We got Chef Mike's Roundtable in the building, y'all. Good to see you, Chef. Good to see you, Chef. And we definitely working on something for the pit crew. Shout out to the pit crew as well. And that's real talk. Okay. Y'all, we gonna get into it. This one, y'all, this, this was something else. That's all I can say. Shout out to Rod C. Shout out to Rod C. What's going on, my brother? Glad to see you here. Glad to see you. Y'all, this one, this one was crazy, y'all. This was somewhat crazy, man. A lot of stuff was going on in this particular video. And see, this is why we as black men, y'all, we need to make sure that we are talking to brothers when we get a chance to. I'm going to say this reeks of people who were raised by single mothers. And I'm going to say this too, y'all. I think there's a strong argument to be made here that the smartest black man in this group might have just been a guy who got arrested. You know, this is crazy, if you ask me. This one's crazy. Shout out to Afro Mercy. He say, Brother Rush, what the heck you had me watch? Yeah, man, you know what? This is one that we need to watch. We need to talk about things like this. These type of things need to be broken down. It's so much crazy going on in this one. Okay, it's crazy. So much crazy going on. And y'all, I played with the title a little bit because I changed it at the last second. You know, man, it was so much going on in this particular and honestly, y'all, like I say, there's a strong argument to be made that the guy who got arrested was the smartest one of the whole bunch. This, I mean, it reeks of people being raised by single mothers to me. Okay, and I know some people may say, "Well, you just can't say people are bad because they're raised by single." No. This reeks of people who are unprepared to deal with the real world. Okay, y'all. As black men, we got to look both ways before we cross the street, y'all. It just is what it is. You know what? Kids don't necessarily have to look both ways. You hit a kid while you're driving the car, people be mad at you because you hit the kid, even though the kid ran out in front of the car. That's just how the world works right now. Okay? You hit a woman. You driving down the street, woman dashes out in front of the car. She's just doing what she's doing. It's people that would get mad at you because you hit some woman, even though she should have looked both ways before she crossed the street. Yep, that's the world we live in. Okay, that is the world we live in. Now, if you a black man and you get hit by a car, all they gonna say is you should look both ways. That's what they gonna say, y'all. See, black men, we got to be in reality, y'all. We got to be in reality. And I'm gonna say, man, this video displayed young men who are unprepared for reality. Real talk, y'all. This would display young men who were unprepared for reality. And y'all, do y'all know the hero got arrested? I bet a lot of y'all ain't even pick up on that. The hero got arrested. Y'all, let's really take a breakdown of what happened in this particular video. And I know some people ain't gonna necessarily see it the way I see it, at least not from the beginning, but we need to take a look at stuff like this. What do we have going on here? Clearly, somebody got hungry and they said, let's go on to McDonald's, y'all. Shout out to McDonald's, y'all. Shout out to McDonald's, okay? Some black people got hungry and they went to McDonald's. Now, it looks like the McDonald's under white management, at least at the time. I mean, maybe the other chick was Latino or something. I don't know. But they looking real white. They looking real white. And I'm going to say acting real white as far as we can tell. Acting real white, too. Okay? Maybe this was a very white area that this particular situation happened in. Afro Merchant say the whole video was schizophrenic. Yeah, I mean, what can you expect if you have men who are untrained to deal with the reality of the world? Shout out to all my people who live in America, but shout out to all my people who don't live in America, y'all. These young men should have been prepared way better than what they clearly were. Okay? Because you got some black folks who done went to McDonald's. Now, I'm not going to say, I don't know what the staff at McDonald's was doing. Maybe the staff at McDonald's just saw a bunch of niggas come in the door at McDonald's. That could very well be the case. Because now you have an officer trying to figure out who went behind the counter, which no one ever answered about anyone going behind the counter. But that doesn't make me think that they got a police call where somebody necessarily told an officer someone was going behind the counter. That could have just been something the officer was trying to put into the mix, because they do stuff like that, y'all. Sometimes white officers try to put a lot of extra stuff into the mix and get you to co-sign something that didn't even happen. So I think that's what he was doing. I'm going to say that. I think that's what he was doing. I don't necessarily believe someone reported somebody going behind the counter, but see, the thing is, you don't know who made the phone call, so that could be true. It's just it's one of those things you just never know. It could be true. The person called and could have said something like that. So you don't know if it's the officer just being an a-hole or was it the caller being an a-hole? You just don't know. Too many white folks around for me to really know what's going down. Okay? Now, this the thing, y'all. This the thing. I understand you're hungry. But you got to learn how to check yourself. Okay? You got to learn how to check yourself. Man, some stuff ain't worth it, man. Some stuff ain't worth it. So, you're trying to get your food at McDonald's. Clearly, something didn't work out. The other guy, he want to go in behind after everything that went down. He obviously it was cool for him to get his food or whatever, at least at first. Now I'm gonna say this. Remember, one guy said he was the departing manager. The young lady said she was the manager on shift now. So guess what? The department manager said it's cool to get your food. I get that. But the manager that's coming on shift, she ain't trying to have all that. She don't know what's going on. She don't care what's going on. All I know is you niggas need to get up out of here. Okay? All I know is you niggas need to get up out of here. Shout out to Chef Mike's Roundtable. He said, I know someone's going to come up on the panel hot. I would say it now. Decorum must be maintained at all times today. We want to hear everyone's comments. Shout out to Chef Mike, and I'm going to do my best, Chef, to make sure they act right today, y'all. I'm going to make sure they act right today, okay? We going to make sure they act right today. Shout out to Chef Mike's Roundtable. Shout out to Mr. Shook to you. I see you in the building as well. The pit crew is on point, but I'm going to try to make sure y'all ain't got to come up here and do nothing, okay? I'm going to try to make sure y'all ain't got to come up here and do nothing, okay? I'm going to try to make sure y'all get a chill day today, all right? So now I'm going to say a lot of stuff is going wrong all over this video. Okay, so the oncoming manager, I don't want these niggas here. I'm not sure what happened before I got to work, but all I know is this chaos and niggas. Let's just remove the niggas. Okay, that could have very well been her attitude, and it seems to be her attitude because the young man came out and said, I wasn't even involved. I came to do my order, get my food, and go on by my business. So you try to stay clear of the situation. Y'all, see, the thing is, we're not clear on relationships. He said somebody was his sister. Now, I don't know if he was talking about the woman in the orange shirt or if he was talking to somebody else. It seemed like he might have been talking to somebody else when he said, something about his sister. Now, I know that young lady in the orange shirt. Now, she had on, that shirt she got on said, this is my costume. So it's something about Halloween, this is my costume. I'm going to say she looks like an absolute clown. I'm going to say that, y'all. She looks like an absolute clown. So I can accept that was her costume because she looked like a clown to me. Now, let's be real, y'all. Some of the cops, at least that female cop, made it clear she didn't like this dude's attitude. Now, we don't know none of their names, y'all. We don't know none of their names. So this guy that's in the braids is the one pictured. Okay. We gonna call him John, y'all. You got your John Does or whatever. We gonna call him John. All right. John talked to, okay. I could name her Keisha, but I hate the way y'all use Keisha. You know what? In this particular case, now we're gonna name her Keisha. I'm gonna go and do it, y'all. We're gonna name that young lady in the orange shirt Keisha. We gonna name her Keisha. Chef Micah, I see you, bro. I ain't gonna say nothing about that, Chef Mike, but I see you. I'm gonna act right, y'all. I'm gonna act right because I'm gonna get these other guys to act right. They come in high, so I'm gonna act right. Okay, I'm gonna act right today. Okay, I'm gonna leave that girl. I'm gonna leave what that t-shirt covered up alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. But it did say it was a Halloween costume. I'm just gonna agree with her because she looked like a clown to me. And that's real talk, y'all. I'm just gonna agree with it. Shout out to Boot Camp. What's good, my brother? Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. So, y'all, I'm gonna name the guy pictured, right? I'm gonna name him John. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead against my better judgment. I'm gonna name old girl in the orange shirt. We gonna name her Keisha. I hate the way y'all use Keisha. But I'm gonna name her Keisha. All right. Don't expect the next woman I name to be Keisha though. Don't be looking for it, okay? Because I really hate the way y'all use Keisha and Brad and all that stuff. I hate all that stuff. Okay, but we gonna give her Keisha today. Lord have mercy. So they at McDonald's, right? Okay. What do police come to do, y'all? What do police come to do? Okay. Y'all got to understand what the job of the police is. The job of the police, when you talk about how they deal with black men, their job is to arrest somebody, okay? Their job is to take you to jail, okay? Their job is to kill you if they can legally justify it, okay? And their job is to beat the brakes off you if they can get away with it. Those are the things. Oh, and they can give you a ticket. See, those are the things the police are trying to do when they make an encounter with you. They want to give you a ticket, not necessarily a good thing. They want to arrest you and take you to jail, not a good thing. Okay? They want to kill you, not a good thing. And some of them, if they can get away with it, want to beat the brakes off you. Not a good thing. You have no good thing coming when it comes to when the police show up for you. Okay, that's just the way it goes. Okay, that's just the way it goes. Now we can feel whatever we want to feel about it, but when somebody call the police on you, that's what they coming to do. They're not coming to be your friend. They're not coming to let you have your way. This ain't Burger King. I mean, it was clearly McDonald's, so we know it ain't Burger King. Yo, shout out to Superstar Jay Quick. He's a revenue agent. Yeah, a lot of their job is about revenue, and if you get anything other than killing them done, you're gonna make some revenue for the city. Let's keep it real. Somebody go to jail, somebody pays bail, somebody pays for court. Money is made. Okay, money is made. Let's just keep that real. Now I'm gonna say this, y'all. So the police get there. Now I get it. I'm gonna call the guy who came outside of McDonald's, say, yeah, it had nothing to do with that. We gonna call him Tom. I'm gonna give him Tom. Okay. Tom, like, man, I wasn't a part of nothing. All right. Tom said, I wasn't a part of nothing. I came in after the fact. And I'm just trying to order my food, and they trying to kick me out. Look, bro, I get you hungry, but the police there. And y'all, this is what I'm saying, y'all. Y'all can tell these young black men have not been trained in situational awareness at all. Who gonna believe any of these guys was raised by their daddy? Do y'all think any of these men were raised by their daddy? And I understand. I do understand if you were not raised by your father and you become a man and now you got kids, I understand you didn't necessarily grow up with certain tools to get you past certain things, but life experience, things that I've seen on television, movies, internet, you should be informed about certain things. So when your kids get to a certain age, even though you didn't grow up with your father, you got to learn how to give your son the stuff that you were supposed to get when you grew up with your father. You got to go out into the world and get it and then give it to your son. It just is what it is. It ain't fair. But life ain't fair, y'all. And that's what black men definitely got to realize. Life ain't fair. And you cannot let your ego get out of control. So Tom came back because Tom was upset that Tom wanted to get some food, but Tom wasn't about to get his food. Tom literally was upset about this. And you know who's Tom talking to? Tom is talking to police that got called for Tom. Tom didn't get it. The police was called for him and his crew. And see, this is the thing. If you with the crew, you with the crew. It is what it is. That's why you got to be careful who you with. Tom is trying to tell on the police, to the police who showed up at McDonald's, to arrest Tom and his crew. Tom don't know what time it is. Tom could very much mean well, but Tom has no clue what time it is. If they not finna give you your food at that particular point, ain't nothing to be said. Life ain't fair, y'all. You got to pick and choose what battles you want to take on. Okay? Now, I know there'd be a woman somewhere talking about, well, I didn't get my nuggets. Bro, shut up. Okay? It don't make no difference whether she got her nuggets or not. Now, Tom said something about his sister in the food. Now, I don't know exactly who his sister was. It could have been some other chick, maybe not necessarily the girl in the orange shirt. But he could have been talking about the girl in the orange shirt because she was in the same vehicle as Tom. So he could have been talking about Keisha. Like, bro, let it go. Who cares if she didn't get her nuggets? All right? Who cares? Now, obviously, John was talking to the police a little spicy. John said, look, I can control my hoe. And they ain't like that. But let me say something right here, y'all. John was correct. John can talk to his hoe how he wants to. And they ain't got nothing to do with the police. John can talk to his hoe like that. You may not like the way John talking to his hoe. You may have an issue with the way John was talking to his hoe. But John made it clear that's his hoe. He talked to his hoe how he want to talk to his hoe. Matter of fact, he even grabbed on his hoe the way he want to grab on his hoe in front of the police. John was absolutely correct. You may not like how he go about handling his hoes, but that's what she signed up for. She signed up to be his hoe. So why am I upset about how John handled his hoes? Okay? That makes no sense. Because somebody may say, look how Roger talking about this. Man, John said what he said. John said, I'm going to talk to my hoe the way I want to talk to my hoe. John grab up on his hoe the way he want to grab up on his hoe. And you know what, y'all? The sad part is John, like I said, was the hero in this situation. And I know it may not come off immediately that John was the hero, but let's think about what was going on. The police are there. You kept hearing the people say, we gonna trespass these niggas. That's what they were saying, y'all. We gonna trespass these niggas. Okay? We gonna trespass these niggas. Now, somebody on the police force didn't want to do the paperwork. Okay? Somebody on the police force didn't want to do the paperwork. Somebody said, okay, well, and I'm not saying they didn't professionally come to the conclusion that we don't really have enough to press the issue, because maybe they came to that conclusion we don't have enough to press the issue. But John said, basically, he told his hoe, that's the way John described it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing to me about, oh, Rod, you can't call no. John said she was a hoe. That's John hoe. How you know she ain't? Don't tell me nothing. How you know she ain't? John know her personally. I don't know her personally. John know her. Not only do John know she a hoe, he said it's his hoe. So why you trying to get me to argue with John? Okay? John out there being a hero. Now, why am I saying John being a hero? They looking for the girl in the orange shirt. John's smart enough to say, wrong car. Okay? What did John also do? He told his hoe to shut up. That's all John, that's all she had to do. Okay? That's all she had to do. There you go. Shout out to Afro Merchant. What John Doe told John's hoe to shut up. And truth be told, that's all she had to do. Okay? That's all she had to do, y'all. That's all she had to do was shut up. The man said different cop. Okay? Now, this is the thing. She saw them good white police officers, and she said out her own mouth, you know, paraphrasing, I just don't want y'all to think we not good people. With everything that was going on, her main concern was not listening to her man who tried to save her bacon. Her main concern was trying to please these white police officers. Her main concern was not looking bad in front of these white people. Her main concern was trying to be in compliance with her leader. Oh, see, did y'all peep that? Did y'all peep that? Her main concern was trying to be in compliance with her leader. I told y'all before, most black women are white supremacists. Her leader done showed up. Her leader got called out there. All right. Her leader is having a conversation with her, and she don't want to disappoint her leader. Y'all see those? It was white male police officers, and then what seems to be a white woman police officer as well. So her leader done showed up. Now, if you look at that white woman, that's a default leader. You know, if the white man ain't there to say what he got to say, you know, the white woman can speak on his behalf. She gonna listen just the same. She gonna listen just the same. So her leader has shown up, and she don't want her leader to get a bad impression about her. Okay, she don't want her leader to have a bad impression about her. So she said, "Look here, look here, man. Look here, leader. Look here, leader. It ain't what you think it is. I'm not bad. I'm trying to follow y'all rules the way y'all say follow y'all rules." Now, y'all, let's keep in mind, they looking for the girl in the orange shirt. So if someone did do something they had no business doing, who do we know was involved doing something they had no business doing? Who do we know was involved based on the story that was doing something that she had no business doing? Because they looking for the girl in the orange shirt. They know that part. They may not know the whole story, but they know to look for the girl in the orange shirt. Now, ain't that about nothing? So if somebody was acting a fool, y'all know who I tend to believe it was? Huh? You know? Now, maybe it was multiple people acting a fool, but I know at least one of them was her. John trying to save Keisha. John had Keisha in the right position, in the car. Everything is cool. John done talked to somebody, and guess what John was able to get done, y'all? John was able to get somebody to say, okay, well, y'all just leave up out of here then, and we'll let it go. John was able to get that white officer. See, regardless of what happened between them two, John somehow got that white officer to say, well, y'all just gonna get up out of here then, and we'll let it go. Now, and I see, and this is why I'm telling y'all, this is how I know these guys were not raised by men. Now, I see how John is acting. And you would think, based on how this stuff would look, if you looked at this without any audio, I think most people would assume that, John is the dumb one. Tom probably was a smart one. Okay. Keisha just need to be protected or controlled. Okay. Tom was doing something extremely stupid. Now I'm gonna call other dude Coolio. Shout out to Coolio, who's rest in peace to the real Coolio. But I'm gonna call dude Coolio just because of the hairstyle or whatever. Not that it was like Coolio, but that's just the name that came to mind when I thought about it. But okay, the dude with the crazy braids or whatever, dreads, whatever. Okay, he ain't seen nothing, but he want to talk like he saw something. Guys asking him what's going on. Well, I can't say I saw that. Okay, but really nothing happened. Coolio he just want to talk. Coolio don't know to shut up. Bro, I didn't even really see it. All he had to do was just shut up, but he want to talk. These are not guys raised by men, y'all. Real talk. If this were this would have happened to me, I understand once the police say they got called up there for us, we ain't got nothing to say. Okay, we ain't got nothing to say. It just is what it is. It's what you can prove. It ain't what we did, it's what you can prove. We gone, man. We getting up out of there. That's what's gonna happen. John, even though they didn't like John, how John was talking to his host, John got it to the point where the officer said, look, y'all get up out of here then, and we can drop this whole thing. Do y'all understand how stupid you got to be to not leave at this particular point? Keisha out here begging for these white officers to accept her amends. Keisha out here begging for acceptance. And see, this is the type of stuff a lot of black men, we're not used to seeing and we're not used to pointing out. John is handling business, y'all. Keisha is begging for white approval while John done got the business handle. Now, I don't know what John said. It don't matter. John got the result John wanted. Y'all leave and this whole thing could be dropped. Now, this is the thing, y'all. Now, I get it. Sometimes people don't look, quote unquote, respectable. And we don't give them enough credit. John said, look, y'all too dumb to get in the vehicle and leave. I'm finna walk. That was the right conclusion to come to. I'm just going to keep it real, y'all. That was absolutely the right conclusion to come to. If your friends are so dumb and they just want to be arrested, as a friend, sometimes you gotta teach your friends a lesson. So look, man, y'all, look. The man said we could go. Let's go. Everybody should have got in the vehicle at that point and just left. And just call it a day, man. There's nothing to talk about. We don't need no more conversation. Now, if I'm telling y'all we can go and you refuse to accept what I'm saying, now I get it. They not necessarily looking at John for leadership qualities. I'm gonna say that. They not necessarily looking for John that way. Tom, he want to make sure he can get his food, even though they call the police on Tom so Tom can get arrested. Tom got zero situational awareness. I know Tom is thinking he's doing the right thing. Tom is trying to separate himself from the incident. Tom is trying to show that he's being compliant and not a problem. Tom is being a fool. I'm not saying Tom is a fool, but I'm saying in this moment, Tom is being a fool. The last thing you need is the police that were called on you to give you assistance. That is not sensible. Okay? That ain't sensible. That ain't real life, man. You don't look for the officer who was called to arrest you to help you. Shout out to Afro Merger. He say that's why the video is so confusing. They were just sitting around. I'm gone. The only response that makes sense has "I'm gone" in it. Y'all can say a whole lot of stuff, but if you don't put at the end "I'm gone," it don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. So what did Keisha actually do, y'all? We don't know what Keisha did. Keisha did something enough where they said look for the people, and one of the girls got the orange shirt on. Okay, now maybe Keisha didn't do anything. I'm gonna throw her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt too. Maybe they just said the girl with the orange shirt because it's easy to find the girl with the orange shirt. Okay, do y'all just take a moment out to just think for a fact, y'all? Just think about this for 1 second, or maybe 2 or 3. Do y'all understand this is a McDonald's? This is not we spent money at some exclusive high-end joint that we normally can't afford. This ain't, we ain't got no money, but we put some money together to get some roof Chris. This is not no, you know what? We ain't used to being here, something like that. I want to eat at the Lux, but we can't really do it separately, so we're gonna put our money together and then get some food and we just gonna take it to go. This ain't none of those type situations, man. This is McDonald's, y'all. This McDonald's, okay? You missing McDonald's, just drive down the road, you're gonna come across another. Okay? This is McDonald's, okay? You gonna find another McDonald's not too far away. Okay, it is not that hard to Google closest McDonald's and find 5, 6, 7 pop up real fast. This ain't that. So why are we acting like this at McDonald's, man? What are we about to miss at McDonald's? You know, now I heard the McRib is back. I heard the McRib is back. Was this the McRib? Was this? You know, I don't know, y'all. Now, if y'all look at the top of the screen, it's showing the date. So I don't know. Was it in, around this time in 2024? Did the McRib just come back out? Did they just have to get the McRib? Like, what's going on? Okay. Okay. So this don't make any level of sense. Now, I'm going to tell you what John messed up, y'all. John messed up because he cared about his dumb hoe too much. Okay? Now, I'm not saying his hoe dumb on a regular basis. I'm saying she was dumb in this particular video. The dumb hoe. Because we know she a hoe, and that's according to John. I don't know her character. John does. John say that's his hoe. I'm just simply not arguing with the fact that that's his hoe. Okay? Now, I'm going to say you could put the dumb in front of his hoe based on how John was handling stuff, and she wanted to prove something other than what John already said, wrong car. And they was finna let that go. Okay? They was finna let that go. Shout out to Shark said, no, it was only one link, Shark. It was only one link. It was only one link, my brother. Okay? I'm gonna say a whole lot happened in this link, though. So John already trying to rescue this chick. Okay? John, again, gets some officer to say, well, y'all just leave and we gonna drop the whole thing. John, the only one smart enough to leave at the time. Tom still trying to explain his position to the officers who got called to arrest him. Tom being a fool right now. Okay? Tom being a fool. Tom sitting there like, bro, it's my vehicle. Well, Tom, get in the car and turn it on, man. If that's your vehicle, get in the car and turn it on. John, the only person smart enough to walk away. But why did John get arrested? According to what they say, because John came back twice. What did John do? Because I did hear John in the background, tell my hoe to come on. That's what John was telling him, tell my hoe to come on. John's still trying to say that hoe. I'm not saying that she a hoe, because I know her. I'm saying John has already said what her character is. And John said, that's my hoe. Okay? Now, shout out to Shark Sims. He said he got locked up for acting like an a-hole. Point blank, can't blame Keisha. No, I'm going to say this. Now. He cared too much. No, they didn't like his attitude. That's clear. They did not like John's attitude. That doesn't make a difference. That's not an arrestable offense. They didn't like the fact that John called his hoe his hoe. Doesn't matter. It's not an arrestable offense. Why did John get arrested? Because he cared about Keisha too much. That's why John got arrested, because he kept trying to tell them other dudes to tell his hoe to come on. John should have left his hoe. That's what John should have did. Y'all, look, this is that part of the Bible where God told him he told Lot he told Lot to leave and don't turn back. Look, man, I know he's saying that's his hoe. I don't think he meant it in the context of he got her on the stroll. I think he meant it as that's his girlfriend or whatever, but he don't use that type of language to describe her. That's his hoe. And what John should have did, see, this is where your ego gets you in trouble. John should have left that hoe. See, y'all, this was an ego situation. I told my hoe to come on, and my hoe not coming on the way my hoe should come on. So now I want to check my hoe. See, that's your ego right there. That's your ego. If John would have checked his own ego, John would have made it home that night. And y'all know what probably wouldn't have happened? The rest of them probably wouldn't have made it home. See, John changed the game. Them other folks were going to get arrested. I'm going to tell you that right now. Them other ones, they being a little slow. They were going to get themselves arrested. The only reason they didn't get arrested, because John done threw himself out there, and he done been a sacrificial lamb for his friends not being smart enough to get in the vehicle and leave. They were going to get themselves arrested. Why? Because they want to talk too much. They want to argue too much. They want to win the situation too much. They already won. John got an officer to say if they just leave, everything's over with. They won already. But because I'm telling y'all, these were people raised by single mothers, and the young men are still deficient in things they need to know. And unfortunately, they got to learn through the school of hard knocks. They're still deficient in what they need to know. They didn't even know they won. That's the sad part, y'all. They didn't even know they won. John got them the victory. and they couldn't even recognize they won. But let me slow down right now and let my main man Tunnel Runner get the mic. What's going on, Tunnel Runner? How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Am I coming through clear?
Loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear.
Well, I think John was doing the right thing because my father told me when you playing football and you see the gap, hit the gap hard and keep it moving. So he was doing the right thing. He should have just kept on rolling. They would have picked him up later on as walking down the street. They would have picked him up. But he knew about himself that he was a little bit, he's very cantankerous hombre. So he was trying to get out of there because he didn't want to get in no trouble. And he was trying to do the right thing. But he came back for that woman. Should let that woman be. If she ain't gonna come with you, if she ain't gonna get in your program, as we always say, then let her be. She got to be on your program. You tell her let's go, let's go. Follow me, baby. And he would have been
Now,
okay.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, my brother. I agree with you wholeheartedly. See, sometimes you got to let the whole shit. See, what happened is, y'all, John didn't know what time it is, okay? All John had to do was walk away and not look back. Now, his hoe, proverbially got turned into a pillar of salt. Don't go back for no salt. That's what John got messed up, y'all. Y'all know when Lot's wife, she was leaving, but she wanted to go back. Okay, she turned around to go back, and she got turned into a pillar of salt. I know a lot of folks don't understand. Okay, there's lessons in these stories, y'all. There's lessons in these stories. See, John was doing the same. John was in Lot's position, man. All John had to do was keep it moving and not go back. Now, I'm going to tell you what probably was going to happen if John would have never turned around. Them idiots was probably finna all get arrested. Why? Because all them idiots was talking to the police officers. What does talking to the police officer do for the people that the police got called to come see about? The only thing you're going to do at that point is incriminate yourself. Let's keep it real. Could they shut up long enough to not incriminate themselves? Clearly not. Tom tried to get an officer who got called to arrest him to get on his side because he wanted a sandwich from McDonald's. As if it ain't a bunch of other McDonald's. I don't even know what this is, y'all. I ain't even pay attention to what city this is. You tell me there ain't at least 40 other McDonald's in the same city? You the person with the truck. You got the keys. You can't drive to a different McDonald's and get a sandwich. Okay. He talked about something about his sister's food. Okay, was Keisha your sister? You can't get her some nuggets from somewhere else? Like, this is what happens when men go out unprepared to deal with the reality of the world. Okay? And that's what happened. They were not prepared to deal with the reality of the world. And it cost John, unfortunately. And I think John saved the rest of them because John fell on the sword, so everybody else probably got away. But they was going to arrest somebody because when the officer tell you y'all can just go and you don't leave, somebody getting arrested because y'all stupid at that point, and they're going to arrest you for being stupid. But let me hold fast because my main man Shark Sims done come up. Shark, you got it, my brother. What's going on? How you see this one, my brother? How you see this?
Peace, y'all. Happy Monday and all that.
Happy Monday, brother.
I gotta disagree with
Happy
y'all on this
Monday.
one. This was a supreme case of niggas doing too much. From the first interaction with the police officer, I already knew this nigga was doing too much. If I was everybody that was with him, I would have walked off and left him right there because I already knew he was gonna be the one to get it. His tone of voice, the like you that's already they could already charge you on some bullshit disorderly conduct. I think he might have been a little drunk, so now you in public intoxication. You know what I'm saying? Then he calling the chick a hoe with a whole bunch of women officers right there now.
We naming folks. We naming folks. So we done named him John.
So then
We
John gonna call
against
Keisha.
my better judgment, we done named her Keisha.
All right, so John called Keisha a hoe in front of a whole bunch of women. So now I know what he means when he say hoe, but they could say oh, she's a hooker, you know what I mean? So then he want to grab her. Now that's unfit. Now that's domestic violence in front of an officer. Young boy was just these young boys just be doing too much and they get themselves in all kinds of stuff just doing too much. You gotta have some kind of humbleness and you gotta learn how to play chess. Like you don't first of all you don't mouth off to a nigga who got a gun and you can see the gun. I don't care if the gun is pulled or not. That nigga got a gun. How you doing, Chief? You know what I'm saying? But I'll end it right there.
Now, I will say that that's just a good thing to consider right there. If the other guy got a gun, you might want to chill on how you talk to him. Okay, so now, no, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Now, this is the thing. John's attitude didn't help him at all. Okay. Now I understand how John ended up getting arrested. John really got arrested for mouthing off. And that's just really what it came to. They
Oh,
just
that's it,
used
though.
other stuff to arrest him for mouthing off. That's all they really was at the end of the day. I'm gonna arrest this nigga because number one, you a nigga. Number two, you mouthing off. Number three, I don't like the way you talking to your hoe. You know what I'm saying? uh, and number four, I ain't got nothing better to do anyway. So John definitely took it too far. But this is what I'm saying, y'all. The two main things that I used to say all the time, which I'm gonna try to start saying again. We get ourselves in trouble because we don't accept that life is not fair and our egos. And I think that's what tripped John up. You got to accept life ain't fair sometimes. You saving your girls behind, but your girl is trying to make sure that her white supremacist masters are fully pleased with her. That's not fair. But you got to accept it ain't fair, and you got to roll out. And when you was leaving, because you done got the officer to say the right thing, where y'all just go ahead and ain't gonna be no problems. You was doing the right thing. You were leaving, but because your ego, you couldn't let your ego go, because your whole issue was my hoe ain't doing what I'm telling her to do in front of these officers. You let your ego affect you, and now you done got arrested. Real talk. If you could have let your ego go and let go of the fact that your white praising woman it want to keep talking, you'd have been fine. And to me, that's what got him. He couldn't let the fact go that the police had more power over his woman than he did. And that's just what it come down to at the end of the day. But let me hold on, y'all. I got somebody coming up. I don't know who this is. So let me get him the mic first. I wouldn't skip your brother, but my fellow crypto. I like that whole idea. But I got somebody new, so let me go ahead and see who this is. So let me go. First of all, let's go to proper protocol real quick. Boom. I think this is a friendly. Okay. All my oh, okay. All my Peruvians demonetized. We good. We good. This all my Peruvians demonetized. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Listen, brother, I'm in Lima right now. I've been here since last Tuesday. I've seen two niggas. It's been great. I cannot complain. I know Spanish fluently. I spoke Spanish all week. No one's yelled. No fighting has gone on in any of the McDonald's that I've been in. Fellas, don't be around Johnny Keisha. Get your passports and enjoy life. I'll land my plane.
I appreciate you, brother. So it ain't jumping at the Peruvian McDonald's. Huh? Okay. All right. Need to be right. You got it, my brother. You got it.
All right. Happy Monday, Roger. Happy Monday to everybody's on the panel.
Monday, brother.
Listen, this is a perfect example of a nigga that's doing too much and a nigga who wants to be right. At that, that's the That's the plantation Negro for you. That is the Negro who was raised by his mama, because these are the types of Negroes that wants to argue everything. They always gotta have the last word because they think they're smarter than everybody else. You know, they think they can always win with their mouthpiece. If I say the right word, if I have the right intonation, maybe I can talk my way out of the situation. But what these dumb niggas don't realize, sometimes you just talk your way into some trouble. I mean, how hard is it? Is it? Mr. Officer tells you, yo, you're good. Just walk away and you'll be all right. And you still argue? You gotta know when to leave the table when you're winning. You just won. Get out, leave. No, they gotta stay. They gotta have the last word. I bet you go and investigate their mama still behaves the same way. And I land my plane right here. Need to be right.
You know what? I'm gonna say shout out to you, brother. To keep it real, y'all, I already feel like I know they mamas. Real talk, y'all. And I'm being dead serious because I want people to be able to use this, because this video is so perfect that you can teach so many people so many lessons with this one single video. You know what I'm saying? Now you probably need to send them a copy of the Roger Report so that to go with the video so they can hit a breakdown. Because again, y'all, if you just watch this, no context, it's hard to see how John was being the hero, because he saved all their bacon by taking the hit. I wouldn't have done it, you know what I'm saying, myself, but he saved the rest of their bacon by taking the hit. So he kind of sacrificed himself to let the others go free. I still wouldn't have done it though. I would have left them niggas where they was. Real talk. Y'all supposed to be my friends. Look, man, I'm calling the audible. The officer just said all we gotta do is leave. It's time to ride out. Now I'm a friend. I'm not gonna leave my friends behind in like a bad situation. But if I'm telling you the officer just said we can go and you won't go, am I leaving you at that point? Or are you just being defiant and want to do something stupid at that point? Because once I tell y'all the officer said we can go and you refuse to leave, I don't think I'm not being a good friend. I just think you being a fool at that point. What is talking to the officer gonna do for you? They came to arrest somebody. Okay, that's what they came for. They got a trespassing call. They came to arrest somebody for trespassing. Are you gonna help them? Because when you talk and it won't leave, to me it sounds like you want to help. And that's real talk.
They want to hand over a W to the system. Like these niggas up. Who cares?
You know what? They was gonna get their W because that's what I'm saying. People ain't smart enough. Now, see, my daddy, luckily, he told me a long time ago, y'all, and he basically said it in these words. He said, "Look, when you win, just shut up." I remember my daddy telling me that, y'all. We was at the kitchen. We was in the kitchen. I was standing up. He was sitting down, eating some food. And he was saying something. I don't remember the exact story. I remember him laughing. He said, "Son, when you're winning, shut up." That's what you need to know. When you winning, shut up. He said, if you was a lawyer in court and you done won the case, why would you keep talking? Once you win, shut up. So now I'm going to apply the same rule to this situation. John got me the victory. I didn't even get it myself. I'm Tom. Okay, I'm complaining about a sandwich to the officer. I'm complaining I can't get my food from the officers who showed up to arrest me. Super stupid. This is like no situational awareness at all. We won. John just said we won. All we got to do is leave. It's time to go. Point blank, period. I would have stopped talking to the other officer. Look, I appreciate it, brother. The man just said we need to leave before we get arrested. We ain't gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna leave. And that would have been the end of it for me. Real talk. Now, even with the ID stuff, They would have been, if they would have even said, y'all ain't got your ID, you ain't got your license with you to drive, I'd have left the vehicle. We come back and get that. We get that later. I'd have walked off too. It could have been me driving the vehicle. I would have left it. I'll come back and get that later.
Well, Roger, for this one time, it's not Keisha's fault. It's Jermaine's fault that time.
Wait, say that again?
For this one time, it's not Keisha's fault. And for this one time, it's all Jermaine's fault.
No, I'm not gonna say that it was her fault, bro. She was the identifying factor. The reason John got arrested because he cared about Keisha too much. John told her to shut up. She didn't do it. They was looking for the girl in the orange shirt to identify the group that's causing trouble. She got the orange shirt on. She jumped out and wanted to talk to the officers for no reason. And she literally said, I just want y'all to know that that we good people. I don't want y'all to think something bad about her. Her white supremacy kicked in automatically, bro. So now this was on her too. The issue is John fell on the sword for all them, and he could have just let her get arrested because that girl was going to talk her way into an arrest. Why does she need to tell him anything? You see what I'm saying? The officer wasn't even pressing her. She's stupid. But John cared too much about the stupid hoe. Now, I'm not saying she a hoe because I know her character, y'all. That's what John said about her. John said that's his hoe. So I'm just accepting since John knows her and I don't, we got to go with his description.
Okay. John should know the cardinal rule, the golden rule. As long as she has a vagina, you have to worry about it.
Man, I'm saying John should have left her, man. Real talk. It was caring about her that got him arrested. Because truth be told, they wanted to arrest him really for how he was talking. It was his attitude. They just didn't like him. He didn't really do anything. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure he came back onto the property. When he came back, because I heard him yelling, I'm bad back Glam, I'm gonna let you get your opening statement. I'm gonna go back and see if he even actually came onto the property because he was yelling. So they really might have just got him for nothing. Truth be told. Bad Black Gamer, good to see you, brother. You got the flow.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing, family?
How
This
you
morning,
doing,
I'm coming in clear.
Yes, sir. You are loud and clear.
I'm gonna be real quick with it. John got arrested because she had on that orange shirt with no bra, and I just wanted to clarify that he couldn't leave it out there like that. So that's why John got arrested. And I'm dropping off right there.
I've been ignoring that the whole show. The chef might sing you. That's all I'm asking. The chef might sing you. I've been letting that go the whole show. I've been letting that go. A little indecent exposure might be able to be added to the situation. All right, y'all. She wasn't dressed her best, y'all. She wasn't dressed her best, but she could be a very performative hoe, and she may have just been performing with John before the cameras came on. We don't. She might have been doing her job very well before the cameras came on, so it could have been that. It could have been that. Okay. But I am gonna say that. I mean, when it comes down to this, y'all, this is about the decisions we make and for the reason we make. Now, I'm going to say this. Keisha want to talk to the officers to prove to them that she's a good person. She's going to talk herself into an arrest. Tom, on the other hand, is trying to get the same officers who showed up to arrest him. Because remember, these officers are showing up looking for a group of people. And the descriptor of the group of people was there's a woman with them with an orange shirt on. That's the description they done got clearly. So they came to arrest you. And you want to complain to them that you can't get your food out of a McDonald's that you surely can drive 5 to 10 minutes away and get another McDonald's. This is not that important.
But Roger, why are they still there? If they know they know they was in there doing some dumb shit. Why are you still there?
And this is what I'm gonna say again. Maybe you didn't hear it while you was checking out the video. I said this is a bunch of folks who were raised by single mothers, and they're still deficient on how to operate as men. Real talk. Because that's what I saw when I saw this video. I seen these dudes acting like women, and you had to pay a price because you was acting like women. Because as a
they want to
man,
be right. They wanted to be right.
There you go. Yeah. Well, acting like women, it still falls into the same umbrella.
and see this is the dangerous part about being a man who's raised by a woman. When you're a younger man, you accept a whole lot more foolishness is okay to do. And if you don't get around men that's gonna start checking you about who you are, and we gotta look at this too. Unfortunately, with the society we in America, it's gonna be a lot less men to even point out to you that you're doing something stupid and you act like a girl. So therefore, you will do this even longer. Because like for me, my automatic advice for any young lady who wants to deal with a man who came from a single mother home, I say you need to wait till that man at least 25 years old to even mess with him, hoping that that's enough time that he can get out in the world and start seeing stuff how men, so some man can start teaching him something. Once he get away from being able to be controlled so much by his single mother, he needs to get around some men. If you don't get around men, you're going to mess around and operate as a woman. And I'm going to say they operated as women, and that's why John got arrested.
But even though them operating as women, the two gay boys that got kicked out of the McDonald's, they was still in their right mind. Because remember when John was acting all crazy, he was like, "Get in the car, Dad." Homeboy was like, "Man, you could go on, because I ain't really with all that nonsense. You bugging out right now." He let him walk
We
off.
calling him Tom. We calling him Tom. Tom's an idiot because Tom is trying to tell the police to help him because he ordered some food and they put him out the restaurant. And Tom acting like he don't get the fact that the police up there to arrest him for trespassing. Tom's an idiot.
Tom and Twan.
Well, the other guy we call him Coolio. The guy who said he didn't really see what happened, but he want to tell what happened. Yeah. Coolio don't need to say nothing, bro. If you ain't seen nothing for real, shut up. The only thing you can do by adding to the scenario is get yourself arrested. All these guys are acting like they are not been trained by men. Well, see, as a man, what is my job? If the enemy catches you, what are you supposed to give them?
No information. Nada.
I don't understand why it's so hard. The police up there to arrest you. They made it clear they up there for a trespass charge. They said it enough times. You're not my friend. You don't know me. We're not cool. We didn't go to school together at any point. There's nothing I can do to help myself by talking to you. So I think they all acting like women. If I was there with them, I ain't got nothing to say. If the police officer would have said, "Man, what happened in there? Ain't nothing happened. What y'all here for?" That's what I probably would have said. Ain't nothing happened. Why are y'all here? No, I need the police to tell me why they there. If they would have told me we here because we got called over trespass. Well, if they talk about that's us, we'll just leave. I ain't got nothing to talk about.
Raj, let me ask you a question. I remember I'm old enough to remember like when the cops would show up and you that was your point to leave. You like walk off back when I was younger. I don't understand why they stayed around. Like I remember back in the day, maybe this is something new. Maybe, like this like the new for the YNs. But I remember when the cops used to show up, man. That's
that
when
is
you walked
bad
off.
language. That is bad language over here, man. We are not doing nothing with YNs.
Oh, my bad.
That is nothing but a way for white people to call black people niggas, and niggas be too dumb to realize they've been called a nigga.
Well, I put like this, like the younger generation. I remember when I was like younger, like when the police showed up, man. That's when we rolled out. So I don't understand the whole sticking around and talking to the police to begin with.
Yeah, and they don't. These young fools don't realize like good guys finish last, but tough guys don't. They get discontinued. They don't even get to finish the game to come in last.
Well, I'm gonna say when you got a bunch of kids being raised by women, you probably buy into Officer Friendly. You know, I remember Officer Friendly when I was a kid. I ain't never meet Officer Friendly when I grew up. I ain't never met Officer. I don't know nothing about Officer Friendly. If you want a friendly officer, you better be related. Real talk. You ain't go to school with that guy, he not Officer Friendly. You didn't go to high school, college, grammar school, even. That ain't no Officer Friendly to you. These guys, that's what I'm saying. They're raised by women, so they do not have good situational awareness. Because Bad Black Gamer, you're correct. It's been so many times that police pulled up on an area and me or the people I was with, we just immediately walked away. We ain't finna stick around and tell you nothing. Just hear what it is. It's what battle do you want to fight? You know, some battles just ain't big enough for me to get into it with the police. I'm not saying don't fight when it's time. I don't even think black men are confrontational enough. But I'm finna confront you over McDonald's. Not McDonald's, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna save my confrontation for when it's a little bit more important than McDonald's. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna confront you over McDonald's. The manager don't want me there. It's a ton of McDonald's for me to go to. I don't need this McDonald's, man. We talking like this is the only one in town. It's McDonald's. They got like 33,000 stores throughout the world. How many is in this one particular town? Probably 40 up in this one little town. They I don't know what town it is. I didn't look at the gotta look at the officers, vehicles or whatever to see what town they in. But I bet you there's at least 40 of them in this town. So I don't need this particular McDonald's on this given night. I'm not talking to no police officers, especially ones that got called on for me. This is stupid. Now, that's how I know they was raised by women. Why are you talking to them?
Well, I know they thankful that Tom is an idiot because of Tom, everybody got to get away. But I don't think they was in trouble.
That's John. John got arrested.
John.
Yeah, Tom was the driver who wasn't smart enough to get into the vehicle and drive off.
Nah, who was the guy sitting in the back seat?
That we calling him John. We calling him John. We calling Tom the guy who said that's my vehicle.
Now, if I was Tom, I wouldn't have drove off either because John in the car acting stupid and he got us on the radar, B.
No. John got that officer to say, if y'all can just leave and we gonna drop it.
Oh, he kept begging for the McDonald's.
Yeah, he trying to tell his story about what just happened at McDonald's. Once John said the officer said we can leave or get arrested. Okay, the officers gave us two options: leave or get arrested. Which option are we supposed to take?
Yeah.
So Tom had that need to be right in him too. You see what I'm saying?
No, he had the need for chicken nuggets.
Bro,
once you got a taste for a Big Mac, that's a hard thing to turn around on, man.
I'm not saying it ain't, but it's McDonald's, man. It's another one. Drive 10 minutes, I'm sure you'll be at another McDonald's who got that same Big Mac taste.
Nah, that special sauce was calling them right there and then. Boy, needed that.
And I'm gonna tell you what I really believe it was too. It was the fact, because remember the two managers said, one was the department manager, the male, the female manager was the one coming onto the clock. So she just didn't want to deal with it. Her attitude was screw all them niggas. I don't really know what's going on. Don't really care what's going on. I just want them niggas gone because I gotta control the restaurant now. So I think she just did what's easy for her. Now, she could have did it because they was some niggas. I'm not going to even put that on it right now. I think she was just doing what's easy.
No, she was doing what she was supposed to do. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. Y'all acting stupid.
Roger, back in the day, I was just giving some fries. Like, hey, here go some fries.
I wouldn't have gave him nothing but a 911 call. I would have did exactly what she did.
Now I'm gonna say if I'm John, I'm walking off for real. I'm not coming back. They'd have been just looking for me. Y'all to pick me up down the road somewhere because I would have left, or you niggas would have got arrested because y'all still there talking. So I really believe they was gonna get arrested because they talk too much. You keep talking, all you're gonna do is incriminate yourself. Once you tell the police the right thing, now they got you. Okay. Plus, they already got up there for a trespass, and you clearly not leaving. So they was probably all gonna get arrested 9 times out of 10. Now, if I'm in Tom's position, I would have got in my truck, turned that thing on. Whoever was leaving with me would have been in the vehicle. Whoever was not in the vehicle, they could figure that out on their own. Cause I'm gonna tell people, all right, y'all, I'm gone. And then I'm literally getting in, turning on the vehicle, and I'm leaving. Now, if you don't get in, that's on you. So I would have left old girl behind because she wanted to please the white police officer so much, and she wanted her story told so much. You know what I'm saying? That she wasn't gonna get in. I would have left her too. And even if that was my sister, I'm leaving. Once I say I'm gone, I'm gone. That's real talk. I
Here's
can't
the thing,
rescue
Roger.
somebody who's diopposed, I just lost the word. Who's diametrically opposed
Diametrically
against me.
Bipolar.
opposed.
No,
Bipolar.
diametrically opposed to me.
Wow.
Not bipolar. I just said I'm leaving. You on some, I'm not leaving. I want the police to know my story. You are diametrically opposed to me. So I'm leaving. I can't help a person who's literally opposed to me. So I'm gone. You
My
got to
thing
learn
is
that one the hard way.
Keisha was already in the car, so I don't understand why they ain't just get in the car and just drive away. Because it was the other fella that was outside the car. Keisha was
No,
already in
Keisha
the
got
car.
out though. Once John had said that the dude said we could leave or get arrested, they was out the car. They all should have got back in the car at that
She got
point
out the
and
car
left.
when the police showed up. She was already in the car before they got there. She got out the car when the police showed up.
But by that point, she was already out the car. Once John got the officer to say, y'all can just leave or get arrested. Once John said that, once that officer said that to John, everybody already out the car. So now it's time for everybody to get in the car and drive off.
See, Roger, that's how I know you don't eat McDonald's.
Why are you saying that, brother?
I got to get that shake with that Big Mac, that special sauce. Come on, man, I'm here now. I didn't. No. We was They was smoking all that weed. Them young guys are smoking some weed, getting their drink on. They got the dreads in their head. You already know they don't know how to act. That's what they need in their life. Ain't got no time to be in. Where was this at?
I don't know. I didn't look at the city. I'm gonna look at the video right now while I'm talking.
Because when you in the country, it's at least another McDonald's 10 miles away. That's a little drive.
Okay, if you're in the country, okay, cool. I mean,
because he did sound real country.
It ain't that serious, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. I can get to another McDonald's and enough. Okay, now I get you. If you somewhere and it just ain't no other McDonald's around, you just quote unquote got to have it. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm gonna say that's not worth me getting arrested. It just ain't. You know what I'm saying? The arrest is gonna take too much of my time and energy to deal with than me just leave.
But if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. They weren't trespassing. They were being told that if they stay, they was trespassing. Like, because to get charged with trespassing, it's already have to have been established that you're not supposed to be there in the first place.
Well, this is the thing. By the time the police got there, they're not inside the McDonald's. So the police got, you know what I'm saying, there's room for them to work with because they left. They're not in the McDonald's.
But Coolio, yeah, you're right. Because I think Coolio and them was in the McDonald's. Because remember, she pointed, she was like, it's still like 2 more of them up in there.
Coolio and Tom was in there at that time. You see what I'm saying?
And that's who was fighting for McDonald's, Coolio and Tom. They was the ones that was mad.
Yeah, and my thing is, all right, look, y'all came together. I think they might have been in 2 cars. I'm not sure if they was all in the same car. They might have been in 2 vehicles. That gray vehicle could have had something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure
I think Coolio had his own vehicle.
Okay, then that probably was his vehicle. The great, but this is the thing: we all friends, right? We came there together, right? We kicking it, right? If my friends have the police there, it's time for me to leave because we're friends. You know what I'm saying? Do I want this sandwich or do I want me and my friends to be gone away from these police? Which is more important to me?
Well, they learned the life lesson. Having friends that don't know how to conduct themselves or mess up your McDonald's.
Well, this is what I'm saying though. John was trying to say they behind, even though he acted the most quote unquote ignorant. He seemed to know the most.
No, he wasn't trying to say they behind. He was trying to act tough.
No,
If he was
I'm
trying
not.
to say
No,
they
no,
behind, he'd have been like,
I'm not saying he was trying to do anything correctly. He was trying to use what he knew and get away with. That was clear.
"Now,
He,
Roger. Once they pulled up and he had that attitude, he already put all of them in danger.
I mean, I get what you're saying,
All of them was in
but,
danger.
but
Once he did, it was. Think about who. Think about you. What would you? What would Roger do?
no, I get what you're saying, but this is the thing. He's using the fact that the police technically don't know anything against the police.
They
That's
know
what he was
everything,
doing.
Roger. They know everything. It was a girl with an orange shirt. She's in the car sitting next to you. You want to play this game with us, or you want to keep it cool?
And but that's exactly why he said wrong car.
The
See,
girl with the orange shirt is sitting in the car with you, and he
yeah,
was
and
pointing. They
he
pointed
said
at
go look for the other girl in the orange shirt.
they pointed at your car and said it was nah, no.
No, I'm not saying he's the smartest guy. I'm not saying that. So what I'm saying is he was making an attempt to use what the police hadn't verified to help their situation. You see
No,
what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but you trying to say that the police are stupid.
No, the police just gotta confirm facts. My thing is I'm not gonna even let you confirm any facts. I'm definitely not gonna help. That's I'm definitely not going to help. You know,
No, I dig it.
I don't have to assume that whatever you're talking about is my situation. I don't have a responsibility to make that assumption. You got to point that out to me. That's why my first thing, if I have to talk to the police, the first thing I'm trying to get out of them is why are we talking in the first place? You establish why we talking, because I'm not going to establish that. Period. But we have two more guests that have come up. So Black Uru and Truth Teller is here.
Oh, this is a truth teller here. All right.
Now, Truth Teller only beat Black Uru in the queue. Technically, I just broke both y'all up at the same time. If I really wanted to, I could have brought Black Uru up first. You know what I'm saying? So Black Uru, you have no pressure to give Truth Teller any special privilege.
Don't do it.
I actually want to hear Uru's opinion on this first. I really do.
Don't do it, Uru.
Yeah.
I think I want to. I maybe perhaps to your chagrin, True Teller. I think I'd like to.
See, now they both playing the same card. Both of them want to hit the other guy first.
I am honestly confused by what happened there. There are parts of the story that are quite confusing to me. So I guess I'd like to, and I didn't get a chance to hear what you. I'm just kind of popping on. I hadn't really heard much of what you guys did prior to this point. So there could be some parts of this that you kind of put together that elude me at this time. So I would like to hear. I sincerely would like to hear Truth Teller's take before, because perhaps he will help to clarify my perspective, I guess.
Okay, so now Truth Teller got a decision of, do I want to go in front of the elder, even though the elder requested me to go first, out of some level of respect, or because Truth Teller wants the elder to go first, does he want to get his way, or do he want to respect the elder's request? What's you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna respect the elder's request, because I'm gonna need the elder to make us look better after I say what I'm about to say. So it's gonna be two plots. It's gonna be two levels. I'm gonna need help cleaning this up, because this was utter goddamn nonsense at a freaking McDonald's. Now I heard y'all. I was listening the whole time. Yes, back in the day, when when them boys showed up, Popo, 5-0, Jakes, we had a bunch of names for them. When they showed up, that means everybody needed to evacuate the area, whether you had something to do with it or not. You left. It wasn't a discussion. I didn't need to tell the cops nothing if they wasn't talking to me. We're done. All right. These people look like they wanted to get locked up. I'm just saying. That's all this prevailed to me. But I am going to point out a few a few red flags that caught my attention. One red flag is, there's a gay person in here, cooking up the situation. I think that's odd. I don't know why they always be cooking up the situation when they, honestly, they should be the first people stepping away from things like this. But fine, okay. The next thing is the young lady outside with no bra on, free titty in it. Listen, niggas. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to talk to the men here. Listen, you don't mess with chicks that go outside with no bras on, player. You just don't do it. There's a real specific reason. No, you don't mess with a chick that go out in public with a free-flowing T-shirt on, orange, I might add. And I'm in Florida, y'all. If my Floridian friends understand, orange is big here. But she ain't got no bra on, and she's in a T-shirt. She's not. I'm just saying that lets you know the quality of woman you with. Why? I get that you're young and it might be your first biddy, but you don't bring her with you outside like that. She's supposed to stay home. You ain't supposed to be seen outside with her titties flapping around trying to convince the police or something. This is just not gonna work. And that's why these niggas got locked up. And last but not least, they do not know how to separate husband duties and wifely benefits from their mothers, their sisters, and just random chicks in the street. They just don't understand it. They was trying to be tough. Pretty much, they kept sticking their faces. They kept sticking their head into business that they should have just walked away from. And if she didn't want to walk away with you, then she get what she get. It's just that simple, man. I'll leave it there.
I don't think you have black roof none with your opening statement.
Wait, so can I clarify something real quick? So you saying she everything messed up because she had her titties flopping around?
Ain't gonna help anything.
Yeah,
I thought that was a distraction.
No, it's a clear sign of unstructured behavior, and you should take that as a warning.
I'm putting that in my notes.
Yeah, because there's no way that makes a woman look good in any way, shape, or form. Doing anything.
Yeah, I don't think that helped her at all. I don't think it helped any of them at all. Real talk. But just so y'all know, since y'all missed it, we calling the guy who got arrested, we calling him John. We call him old girl with the orange shirt. We calling her Keisha, believe it or not. And we calling the guy who kept trying to plead that something else just happened when I was at McDonald's. We calling him Tom. And shout out to Coolio. We calling the other guy Coolio with the crazy hair. But Black Guru, it's now on you, my brother. You got the mic.
Yeah, as always, thanks for having me. There was a lot of parts to this story that were kind of odd fitting together. I mean, you have these white McDonald workers who refer to some alleged incident that we never actually see. I mean, we never really actually see what supposedly went on in the McDonald's. I mean, it was this sort of hyped up situation that we never see. The workers point them out. The workers, however, they don't come out onto the scene to identify who did what. they just refer to a girl in an orange shirt and they point to a vehicle. I guess we should assume that something wrong happened, but we don't really have any evidence of it. And they don't really even, once the officers approach the people at the vehicle, the people who accuse them are out of the scene. They're not at all identifying what these people have allegedly done. So, I'm kind of unclear as to what actually happened here that prompted this whole incident. I don't see any clear evidence that anybody had done anything wrong that prompted this encounter, thus far. Now, that young man, he's got some problems. He's got some look. I grew up in Chicago, west side of Chicago in the 70s. I've been around a lot of criminals. I've had friends and relatives of criminals. I ain't never seen nobody behave that way towards law enforcement the way that boy was behaved. I've seen some hardened criminals in my day. They have not spoken and responded to law enforcement that way. That dude obviously has some serious mental and emotional problems. Maybe it was triggered by some alcohol or drugs or whatever. But he was not. I mean, that he could have been shot several times during that encounter. And to be quite honest, to be white police officers, they kind of handle him fairly decently.
Exactly.
To be quite honest. Because, man, I'm telling you, if he had came up in Chicago behaving that kind of way, oh, man, he'd got put down hard, man. He'd got put down real hard.
Uru,
So,
if me and you was police partners, we would have shot his ass.
At the very least, he would have been tased. At the very least, he would have been tased. But now here's the thing. It's clear to me that this guy has mental and emotional problems. So now I'm like unclear to some degree how he even really should be handled, right? Because now, like back in the day, I'm old. See, I'm old enough to remember when they would actually bring folks out for people like this. And this is a long time ago. So I'm just telling you how old I am. But yeah, they would have people come out when it was clear somebody was off their shit, right? They would bring them out with the cops kind of thing, but, Reagan came in and cut off all that kind of shit in the early 80s. So I just see it as a Trump. I mean, even the girl who supposedly caused this incident came off as a fairly mild, kind of somewhat cogent young lady. She didn't come off as a Keisha generally. She came out. In fact, all of them seem like suburban kids. Them seem like some suburban kids who probably were drunk or high or whatever, and whatever. And to be honest with you, the reason why, in my view, the biggest reason why that boy got arrested was because of the driver. Because when he should have gotten them in that vehicle and said, "Come on, all y'all, let's go." They were all with him in his car, put them in the vehicle, drive on off. Ain't nobody arrested. So that's why
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
My viewpoint of this thing is kind of complex because I don't even really know what they did to even prompt this whole encounter with the police to begin with.
Now, see, I agree with a lot of what you're saying because I said, now we calling the driver Tom. Tom should have got in and drove off. Yeah. Real talk. Okay. We calling the guy who acting berserk, we calling him John. And we call a girl in the orange shirt Keisha. And the dude with the crazy hair, we calling him Coolio. Now, this is how I'm looking at it. The police done showed up. Okay. John is actually trying to protect Keisha because he telling the police, y'all got the wrong car. So now the police do have to actually establish that these are the actual people that y'all are talking about, whatever the case is. So I'm not saying it was the smartest way to go about it, but he is trying to protect her in some kind of way. Now, Keisha got to prove to these police officers she's a good person and my friends are good people, and everybody is it's not like what you think it is. My thing is Keisha care about white supremacy far too much in order for me to save her. Tom want to argue because something just happened while he was up there, but he trying to talk to the cops who literally came to arrest him. No one's making smart decisions at this point. Okay. John is making the smartest of decisions, even though he's acting a fool. He at least is smart enough to say, let's go. He got the officer to say, if y'all leave, everything's cool. If y'all stay there, we arresting y'all. Once you get an officer to say that, you supposed to leave. He the only person smart enough to know that it's time to leave. And I'm saying because of his own ego, that his hoe, the way he called it, his hoe Keisha cared so much about pleasing those white officers that she couldn't walk away. So he let his ego get a hold of him because he want to prove that Keisha is in more of his control than their control. And that's why he eventually got arrested. Now, if he'd have just walked away and left them all there, the rest of them would have got arrested because they so dumb that they just gonna keep talking to the police until they incriminate themselves. So yeah, they were going to get arrested.
But John was saying a lot of stuff. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
He was saying stuff about how much money he made and all this. I mean, John was off his shit, Roger.
I understand that, but it's not
off his shit. I get that, but I mean, I don't. There's no point to antagonizing law enforcement. There's nothing to be gained by doing that. And, you know, it's one thing when you're in the right, if he had just simply said, I'm not talking to you, tell Keisha, don't talk to them, and just left it at that and just kind of stayed in the vehicle, maybe told his friend, come on, let's go, then that would have been fine. But all that extra stuff, he kind of made it hot. Easy. Yeah, he made it hot, and he could have made it hot for everybody there. Because like I said, in a different kind of environment, if they're in Alabama, someplace like that, you know, everybody fucked up. Everybody fucked up. So John really kind of, you know, made the spot. He could have made the spot a lot hotter than it was. Like I said, they got treated fairly decently. Yes. And it seems like to me, those kids they seem like kids from, quote, good backgrounds, end quote, because you could tell by how they even responded, they weren't really necessarily even accustomed to dealing with law enforcement, which is partly explaining maybe why they said and did some of the things that you or I would not necessarily recommend they say and do, because I didn't get the sense at all that they were accustomed to really even dealing with police like that. And they seemed to me like they were some suburban kids, probably from some, quote, decent families. And I'm using that to kind of just make a point without really actually meaning anything. But they weren't used to that kind of action. None of them were used to that kind of action. And John got some, and even Keisha, as much as we can say, Keisha seemed to be genuinely concerned about John's well-being.
She said that nigga bipolar.
She didn't necessarily handle it the way she should have, but she seemed to be genuinely concerned about him, which is why I put it on the driver as well, because they all have to know John on some extra shit. We all have a friend we know on some extra shit, and we got to get him out of that situation when things go bad. We all have had a John in our clique, all of us. So that's why I put it on the driver mostly.
Well, I'm going to say, you know what? Because I looked at it as I believe these were children of single mothers because the situational awareness was terrible. But now that you say they could have been suburban kids and never really dealt with the police, I can accept that as a reasonable. That's reasonable as well. That could be very reasonable as well.
Their whole energy and even the way they spoke like kids who were educated, you know, that they were from, you know, they were articulate. And I know black people typically don't like to use these terms because they kind of obviously have a racist overtone to them. But I'm just saying they did not sound like hood kids, so to speak. They didn't, you know. And like I say, some of their behavior suggests to me that they weren't particularly savvy. about how to deal with police, which is partly because maybe they if you haven't really had to deal with that kind of action, then you are kind of an ingenue about how to deal with that. But I mean, I didn't really see any real villains in that whole scene. It seemed like to me largely kind of an overblown situation.
I'm gonna disagree. Where I see a ton of villains in that one right
I
there.
see basically all villains.
Yeah, I see all villains. I don't see none. I don't see. So hear me out. This is coming from somebody who lived in the hood but went to school with suburban niggas. I grew up with suburban people, right? And I grew up with hood people. So I seen both sides. And when I say suburban people, I ain't talking about, middle class suburban people. These people had some dough. I've never seen somebody who has no experience with the police respond to the police that way. They normally have a perpetual fear of them, coming from suburbia and never having to deal with them because all they saw was those negative stories about police, right? Oh my gosh, it's police. What are we gonna do? Just calm down. More than likely, they'll be like, let's call mom, or we'll call somebody. They're not gonna be interacting with the police like that. Now, I will agree. Some single mother dysfunctionals will interact with the police like that. And they know, and there was hints and glimpses in that whole scenario where they knew how dangerous it was to be interacting with the police that way. But they continued, and they took turns. It's not like, it was really just one person who was doing it. Keisha wanted to convince this officer she's not a bad person. The officer said, go ahead and leave. And for some strange reason, they didn't all say, all right, let's go. Because the police say, man, if y'all don't get out of here, y'all gonna get arrested. There's nobody arguing. Like there's no, let me have a conversation with you. No, didn't you just hear him say, leave or go to jail? I don't want to test that. I don't need to prove that he can't put me in jail. So I'm leaving. It's just that simple, man. I don't think any. No. We had
But
we do have some.
I'm saying a hood kid. If the police say, if you don't leave, I'm gonna lock you up, that hood kid's gonna get got. But these were some kids who were not really used to dealing with that kind of scene. They weren't really
I
used
agree.
to dealing with, and they wanted to. They wanted to, and maybe because of racial stuff or whatever, they wanted to signal to these white people, these white police officers, that they were good black folks. So what that says
I get
to me
you.
is,
I get
so
you.
what that says to me is they think that they come from a background in which they don't have no problems. They don't cause no problems for police officers. And they want to do police, and they want to convince them. Now, whether they should have done that, we probably agree that they shouldn't have done that. Like I said, to me, the driver is at fault because once he was told to leave, they're all in his vehicle. At that point, I'm telling everybody, y'all get y'all ass in my car. I'm getting ready to leave. And if they're not in there inside about 20 seconds,
They
get
get
left.
Okay, let me, because that's what I said I'd have been on. But let me throw this in here. Let me throw this in there because I think there's a good point on both sides of the situation, especially when we look at reaction. I think Blackaroo does have a point. Maybe these are very good suburban kids that don't really have this stuff as an issue. And I'm gonna say that suburban girl was messing with that hood nigga. Okay, that dude from the hood. And now he's with the suburban kids.
I don't think
Gotcha.
that's a hood dude. I think that's an emotionally imbalanced dude, a mentally imbalanced
that's
dude.
a lot of
I've been
hood
around
dudes.
a lot of hood dudes. They are not gonna behave like that towards 3 or 4 law enforcement. They ain't gonna do that.
What Black? I think he was thinking, I ain't did nothing, so I'm not in trouble. So this is my time to show out.
And that's
I
also
think he was just showing out.
I don't. That's not somebody who's used to dealing with law enforcement, though.
Nah, but
Not somebody.
He
I
he
think
may
You're not
not.
gonna say, oh, you're not gonna say that the white female officer is ugly and all that kind of shit. You ain't gonna do that.
but
Especially if you got a jacket, you ain't gonna do that.
But Uru, I also think it's this woke culture where they think can't nothing happen to them anymore. You know what I mean? Because we all know suburban kids, we all know single mother kids from the hood. I think this is that this whole F the police, defund the police, Black Lives Matter woke shit where you just think you could talk to police any way you want and ain't nothing supposed to happen to you. And they learned the bad way because hood niggas know better. I think suburban kids know better.
No,
But
but
this
there
new
was only of that group of guys, there was only one guy behaving that way.
Yeah,
The
but the
rest
others was
of
just
it,
trying to.
the rest of them were trying to be cooperative. So I mean, even in what you described, that don't represent that group. You have this one guy who appeared to actually be imbalanced, mentally and emotionally imbalanced. And the other and the girl was trying to help. You know, obviously she did not have what she needed to be able to help, but she was trying to help, you know, sort of ameliorate the situation with that. You got the driver who's trying to say, I'm a good guy, I ain't done nothing wrong. You got the Coolio is spaced out of his fucking mind. Coolio is gone. Fucking Coolio is on Mars. So it just,
He
I
said
don't,
Coolio gone.
I mean,
He said he was on Mars.
and here's the thing. Here's how you gotta know that the police were kind of decent. Because the police have to know Julio was out of his fucking mind.
I can tell you. I can tell you what they was thinking or they saw him, because you in order, like, if he is out his mind and they gotta call people, they literally gonna be there all night and they gotta do a report and they gotta file up certain paper. Basically, it'll be more work. That's why they was like, man, if y'all just don't get up out of here, I don't have to deal with this if
Right.
y'all leave, right?
But but
So that's
but
more
but
than
if
likely
they
what he's thinking.
but if they were the hardcore, if they were the
Oh
hardcore
yeah, they would have popped him, man. He
they
got
would have they would
yeah.
have gladly have written all of them up on some bullshit. I mean, even the DA pretty much, you know, gave him just a trespass. You know, all the other stuff they dropped it. So even to me, that says that this is an area where, you know, these are suburban kids from a certain background.
All right, like Blacko, you kind of went out for a
Record
second.
of
We
I
lost about
think
the
they
last 10
discovered that
seconds.
this guy. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear
Can you
you.
hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, I think they discovered, probably the district attorney office probably discovered this guy actually does have some kind of issues. That's why they dropped most of the charges they initially put on him. So I mean, it just says to me that this ain't the kind of environment. Look, if this was a different kind of environment and a different kind of law enforcement, all of them would have been charged with something. All of them would have been charged with something.
Now, Black Rule, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give weight to what you're saying, you know, because I can switch out a pair of glasses. Because I'm gonna say this, y'all. When the police officers went and knocked him down, when John got knocked down to get arrested, he did not act like a hood nigga. Think about that.
All
He
of that
did not
energy
act
was
like a hood nigga at all.
gone. He was church boy status.
Because that's
Not
when
at
the rubber
all.
makes. I'm
He
saying
was not
that's
accustomed to that kind of action, man. He was
that's the
not accustomed
moment
to that kind of
when
action.
yeah, that's the moment when the rubber meets the road on if you a hood nigga or you just pretending. That's the moment when the rubber meets the road. Because if you a hood nigga and the police literally just came and knocked your drink out your hand and knocked you down, and you really believe you ain't did nothing, I don't think you act like the way he acted.
That nigga
No, they wouldn't
milkshake was all over the place. I said, damn.
Yeah, so
that
Oh,
milkshake
that's
brought
up.
that milkshake brought the cops to the yard.
Damn.
now
No.
I remember talking to a cat who told me it's hard to be from the suburbs because a lot of these niggas from the suburbs want to prove that they not from the burbs, and they put these fronts up, and then you know what I'm saying, and then sometimes you mess with some dudes that ain't from the burbs for real, and then you know it goes south for you real quick. So it's like when you a suburb dude trying to be a suburb nigga, you get yourself in an awful lot of trouble sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It can get very bad very quick. So I'm just saying, if he really was a hood dude and the police literally just came and knocked your drink out your hand and knocked you down to the ground for literally no reason, because in your mind, you've already walked away. In your mind, you are gone from the scene. So why would somebody be coming up to you at this point? You see what I'm saying? So Black Rule is making an actual legitimate point. Now, I don't know why.
I think the reason why he got arrested was because he was coming all out of the pocket on that female police officer.
Oh, that's why he got arrested. He got arrested for his mouth.
He was calling her.
He got arrested because he was showing out. Real
ugly and all.
And he got arrested because he said, "This my hoe. You can't tell me how to talk to my hoe. I grab on my hoe with it." He got arrested because he was really being defiant toward her, and she had a problem with that.
He made a point. He brought out all her feminist hatred. He brought all.
He playing games because them are the ones that usually accidentally shoot somebody.
They're the ones that usually shoot somebody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're the dangerous ones. They usually accidentally quotes shoot somebody.
Accidentally point a gun and pull and
accidentally.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they had no body cams. This wouldn't have came out the way it came out.
No, I don't even remember pointing my firearm at him. I don't know what happened. Yeah, that's how it happened.
If it wasn't no body cams, he grabbed a gun. Real talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Listen, female cops always made me nervous. I've always had problems with female cops, man. Always, because they always try to just go. You be talking to them nicely, and they just try to go to extra level. Like, come on, man. If you ain't in this uniform, you don't even talk like this, man. Stop playing. Just give me my ticket so I can get out of here. What are you doing? Well, where were you going? Like, what? What do you mean? Just give me my ticket, man, so I can get out of here.
Now, I don't know why John was so hot that night. Something didn't go right or whatever the case is. So John was hot that night, But I'm going to say what John was doing was technically not illegal. You can talk to your hoe how you want to talk to your hoe, even if police are around. It's going to piss them off, but technically it's not illegal. You can grab on your hoe the way you want to grab on your hoe, even if the police don't want you to. But as long as she's consenting, it's not illegal. So I know John got arrested because of his mouth. I'm not. There's no one gonna convince me that ain't why he got arrested. He got arrested because of his mouth. But I'm gonna say this: Keisha should have been listening all the way. You so busy trying to impress these white officers. When your man told you come on, you should have just left, and that's it. And I'm saying because of his ego, that those white officers had more control over his hoe than he did. That messed with him. That's what I believe it was. Because he's showing out at this particular time. He want to show these officers, this my hoe. I'm going to run my hoe the way I want to run my hoe. So when he couldn't run his hoe exactly like he wanted to, and he's shouting to them other cats, tell my hoe to come on, and she not coming on, I think his ego got the best of him.
Roger, how did he even think that's his hoe? She ain't got no bra on, Roger. She doesn't have a bra on.
He ain't say that's my woman.
She walking around with loose titties, Roger. How can that be his woman? She everybody's woman. What are you talking about?
Said, that's my hoe. The hoe is already in there. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say that's my girlfriend. He didn't say that's my woman. He said that's my hoe. So he's established she's a hoe. Okay. Now, I don't know why she out there with no bra on. But he ain't lying to himself.
It could be she's a girl with the band type. Because it's like her and what?
Yeah.
4 or 5 other dudes. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But between me and the homies, I got up for tonight. So it
Well, I
is what it
mean,
is on that though.
no. What you have sometimes is, it's was a Snoop Dogg. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So you have some brothers like that.
No, well, I'm saying this might be a shared situation with
Yeah,
some
we share
friends
everything.
that are not there, and he got her for the night.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? His homie will have it tomorrow, but she with him tonight, so he can talk to his hoe how you want to talk to his hoe, and that's why he got arrested.
You're not listening. I'm saying that it's all happening with everybody that night, and he just the ringleader.
I'm telling you.
He's the conductor. Put it this way, he's the conductor of the train.
No, I get what you're saying.
He's the conductor of the train.
No disrespect to Coolio or Tom, I just don't think they got it in them.
Well,
no, they got it in them. Shit, loose titty hoes. They got it in them.
Sometimes you have a situation where you have one brother in the group that's going to compel certain things to happen, even in spite of what those brothers are on. Truth telling
That's why she had a bra.
It's this whole y'all ain't gonna be no bitches around me.
But now Tom did say somebody his sister. I thought he was talking about Keisha. He could have been talking about somebody else in another vehicle. But I was like, oh, he could be talking about Keisha though, because Keisha was in the car with him. So that's why I don't think it was them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying John ain't doing that, but I just don't think he's doing it with them.
Could be.
Yeah. He said my sister at some point. And that's why my thing is, this is McDonald's. There's nothing going on at this particular McDonald's that we have to carry this all forward right now. They should have just got out and left. And leave it with nothing. The officers ain't arrested nobody. Soon as somebody say, look, man, you could leave or get arrested. I've been told that before, y'all. And every single time somebody told me that, I did not get arrested.
I was told the same thing. And when I heard that was him telling me to leave. I left. I'm not getting arrested. When the cop told me you don't have to get arrested. Why? I don't understand. They could have left and came back to the McDonald's later. Ain't McDonald's 24 hours now?
A lot of them are.
I wouldn't even want to talk to the police officer. If the cops come in, I ain't got nothing to say.
Well, that's why I say, even if these were suburban kids, because I thought they were single mother kids in real talk, because it's like,
they still could be. They still
where,
could be. Suburban kids do have single mother parents.
And I will say, yeah, that's very true. That is true. And then some of them, I know in the Chicago area, they started spreading people around to the suburbs. They took out like the little project kids and whatnot. They started spreading them out in the suburbs. But I will say this: the situational awareness to me is just ridiculously low. It's pathetic, and I don't see your father guiding you along when you deal with a situation like this that you literally could have just walked away from, and you just don't know how to walk away because you want to prove something to a police officer who literally showed up to arrest you. Hence Tom. Okay, John definitely being ignorant at the time, but like I say, what John was doing was not technically illegal. But John was at least smart enough to know it was time to leave. Now, if John would have just left Keisha where she was, and I say this plenty of time, that's black men's major issue. We don't know how to walk away from a woman. And John got himself arrested because he just wouldn't leave her. I will holler at you in an hour or so, man. We got cell phones out here nowadays, y'all. It's not that serious. Y'all, if y'all didn't notice, it's a date. This happened last year in when was it 2024? Was it 2023? This is 2024. Okay, 11/10/24, y'all. This November of this is basically a year ago. Okay, there's cell phones. I ain't got to talk to you right now. I'll talk to you later. If you're not smart enough to get away from the police officer, man, y'all figure that out. I'll call you in an hour and see what's popping. If you don't answer your phone, I'm just gonna assume you're arrested. I'll talk to you the next day or the day after that. Give you some time to get out of jail, and it's all good at the end of the day. But I'm not getting arrested. Okay, that's just what it is for me. I ain't gonna leave my friends in a bad situation. But if I tell my friends, y'all, we about to get arrested if we don't leave, and you refuse to leave, you just got to get arrested by yourself. Because you want to know how you want to find out just how greasy that fat meat is. I don't. It's not that serious to me.
Roger,
You know,
I would have walked away. I would have literally walked away and just kept walking. Even if I ain't nowhere near the crib, I'd be walking.
man,
That's it. That's
bro, I'm with you. It's a bus stop or something somewhere nearby. I'm gonna go sit down, call somebody.
something.
I'm
Something.
on such and such corner. Come get me. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be sitting on some park bench or something because it ain't that serious. But to me, like I said, this is the type of stuff that needs to be seen, needs to be broken down, and people need to see where the follies are in this situation. Because to me, they always messing up. John didn't need to put the heat on himself because I'm gonna say that's what John did. He put the heat on himself. He was playing with him, but he was staying inside the law while he was playing. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have played with the police like that because I don't know where it's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Now, have I been angry with police before or yelled at cops? Yes, I have. I tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? But that was a more controlled situation where they came to a home that I was renting. Some landlord tried to quote unquote put me out immediately. You know what I'm saying? But we got a background, and I was punishing that particular landlord. I might tell you about that later. You know what I'm saying? So when the police got there, they trying to talk to me, but because I'm inside the home, now I'm yelling at the police because I know what the law is and I know what they can and can't do. She was just unaware of what they could and couldn't do. So yeah, I was acting an a-hole, you know what I'm saying? But I knew they couldn't do anything to me at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was doing what I could get away with, real talk. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm in the right, you know what I'm saying, and you bother me, I don't look for me to treat you the greatest. That's all I'm gonna say. If I'm in the right and you, as police officer, you're bothering me and I'm in the right, just don't look for the greatest treatment. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm in the wrong, I'm yes sir, no sir, all day long. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything I can to get out this ticket, maybe get a warning. You know, we gonna bring this to an immediate close, and I ain't got to really do nothing. I'm yes sir, no sir, all day long, and that's real talk. So I get what John was doing, and John just thought he was gonna be able to get away with it. And John really would have got away with it if he wouldn't have came back. You know what I'm saying? If you got me, I'd have been another block up because I'd have never stopped at any point and yelled back to tell my hoe to come on. My hoe just got to learn the hard way that, when you roll with me, you roll with me. And if you ain't rolling with me, then you ain't rolling with me. And that's
After
just it.
after further analysis of watching this video, it seemed like a bunch of Karens.
Explain, please.
Just a bunch of, what I mean, like, you didn't did something wrong, but you're gonna really try to explain your way to make it right. You know what I mean? Like, you the head of HOA, you didn't came and mess with this lady, she did knocked you out, but now you gonna explain to the cops like how you was the victim. It's like, no. And that's why I said, like, this whole woke joint where nobody could be wrong anymore, and the cops have no, you know what I mean? Like, the girl basically said, yeah, the girl with the orange shirt jumped over the counter, went outside, pointed them out, and they still like acting like they ain't do nothing wrong. And like y'all said, they was supposed to been going, but you know what I mean? You're Karen, you ain't do nothing wrong, so why you gotta leave?
That just make it even worse for me.
Yeah, it ain't your property. That's why you gotta leave. And the cops is coming.
But here to me is the problem with that. Now, the people in the restaurant claim, or the woman I guess claimed that this girl jumped the counter, but she don't come out and really identify her as being the culprit.
No, she said the girl in the orange shirt.
Yeah, in the orange shirt, but she don't come out and directly point to her. We're just assuming that they're referring to her because she has an orange shirt, and that's fine. But to me, the proper thing to do is I witness you jump behind the counter.
What the thing is, she didn't witness it. Remember, she was the manager coming to work. The other manager was leaving, so she didn't witness squat.
Okay, so then why did he do that?
My thing is he didn't care enough to do it. If I'm in
Right.
their
So
position,
then what do we again, that's why my question has been like, well, what really happened here?
and see, my stance is, if I'm in that position, I don't care. I'm just leaving. This is
No,
not a battle I gotta
I get
win.
that. I think we all have established they should have just left the area. But I'm just saying, thus far, I don't see any evidence that anybody did anything wrong at all. Like I really don't. Especially since there hasn't been any actual confirmation of the accuser that these people were the ones involved in some disruption in this establishment. They don't do that.
Or maybe Keisha wanted a Whopper, and she was upset. She was upset she couldn't get no Whopper.
Yeah.
Or maybe they told her no bra, no service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, no, by this video, we really don't know what actually happened. I'm pretty sure it was just some small argument at the counter about trying to order something. What else could it really have been?
Roger.
Yeah.
How many videos have we seen where these chicks then jumped over the counter, been beating people with the fry holder? Come on.
No, I do get that type of stuff happen, but I will say this: I think the guy who was the manager when it was going down probably would have been a little more forthcoming if the black kids were totally in the wrong and McDonald's was totally in the right.
He said it was them and they in that car.
No, but I'm saying, but if you ain't gonna come out there to really make no statements to the police other than that, now I'm gonna say this too: they could have just been getting lucky because dude is getting off work and he ain't trying to deal with it. All the luck could have been just going in their favor because I really could make an issue about this, but I want to go home.
Roger, they was gonna wash his ass up soon as he got off the clock and came outside. That's why they were still sitting there.
I mean, that could very well be true. I can't argue
we
that.
know niggas. We know how to do nigga shit. Why we sitting here fronting like we can't get our Magnum PI on? I really think that's what was going to happen. And she said it's two
I'm
more.
not gonna deny
She
that.
said it's two more in the store watching. And that's when Coolio and Tom came outside, acting like they got kicked out.
Well, I mean,
if you were gonna do all of that, if that was your mentality about doing things, are you just gonna chill there on the scene while waiting for the police to arrive and then talk with the police? If that's the kind of mentality that you have.
Yeah, and even if you were dumb enough to do that, wouldn't you still leave and just try to give them another day?
No, and that's they're not smart. And we don't even know if they were told that the police were coming.
Yeah, but they know the police are there now.
Yeah,
and this guy's trying to convince them that the driver's trying to say my papers are in order and all this kind of shit. I mean, he didn't sound like anybody who was planning some sort of gangland stomp down. He didn't come across as that kind of guy at all.
Tom looked like he had about 3 trapper keepers in that truck somewhere.
The way Tom was trying to presume innocence by talking about, they kicked us out. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that was them, but this is me in here. I'm like, it just seemed wild fishy to me. And then when they walked up on Homeboy with all that extra energy, like, how did you get from 0 to 100 that quick, or was you already on 100 after you came out the McDonald's?
Well, see, I mean, that's the thing. I believe John was already upset. Period. The police got that he already mad. You know what I'm saying? Because his first interaction that we saw, the man clearly was already upset about something, and he telling his chick to don't say nothing. He said wrong car. He's trying to make this all go away. Now, how successful he would have been at it had everybody cooperated is up in question. But he's trying to make it all go away. So he clearly already upset. Now my thing is, what do you do at that particular point? I don't think there's nothing you really can do that's going to help your situation except leaving. Talking to the police wasn't about to get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have said nothing, made the McDonald's worker make a full report about whatever they saying we doing in order for the police to arrest me. I wouldn't have had nothing to say.
On top of a full report, you also got CCTV in a McDonald's. So all they had to do is bring the police to the back and show them everything that went on.
No,
and now
I
you
totally
definitely
get you.
asked out, so they should have been gone.
And my thing is, I'm gonna make you do that. I'm not gonna volunteer anything to help you get me arrested. You're gonna have to go through all that trouble. You're gonna have to go call whoever you gotta call, do it, whatever you need to do, or you know what I'm saying, go through the trouble of subpoenaing the tapes or whatever you got to do. I'm gonna make you do it because I'm definitely not gonna help you. And my thing ain't, I'm gonna tell you obvious stuff. We came to get some food, and that's it. What we doing here? We came to get some food. That's it. I don't have no story to tell you. Is there a problem, officer? Well, yeah, they saying this or blah blah blah, trespass. Well, I don't know why they complaining, but if it's that serious, we could just leave. I ain't
Simple as
helping you
that.
at all.
Yeah, simple as that. Simple as what you just said. Yeah, right there. Because you don't really need no proof for a person to get hit with trespassing. You just gotta tell the cops like, yo, you don't want them on the scene. It's like McDonald's is in a public area. You know, it's not like it's a park.
Yeah, technically somebody owns McDonald's, and technically anybody can put you off their property. So, yes, a manager can make that type of call, and once they make that call, it's over with. You know, but you definitely can avoid being arrested by just simply leaving, because the average cop don't want to do the paperwork no way.
Hell no.
So I'll do you a favor, and I'm gonna do myself a favor. We ain't gonna write up nothing. I'm just gonna go to another McDonald's. That's it. So I think a lot of this was egos. The kids want to prove they right, you know, and because they want to prove they're right, because that's the only way I can see Tom trying to explain so much to them. He want to prove that they in the right, and he was a good Negro. He's not like these other Negroes y'all get calls about. That. That's not us. Keisha want to tell the police officer, look, that has nothing to do with us. We are the good Negroes, and we don't want y'all to do anything that's going to damage our reputation. And just forgive him because he's bipolar, and heck, he don't have his meds right now.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we get him
Yeah,
home, he'll be okay.
That was funny. Well, like a lot of people really got to understand conflict resolution. You know what I mean? Because we just gave so many examples of how this conflict could have been resolved. It don't make no sense they couldn't get one of those right.
And that's why I kind of did the show. I think a lot of us have forgotten that we need to actually have these conversations. So when the people actually are when they're dealing with the police officers, they'll know how to deal with it, and nobody gets arrested and nobody gets convicted. Most time I've talked to a police officer, it didn't go that far. Most times I've talked to, I ain't said I ain't never got arrested, y'all. I'd be lying if I said that. I've been arrested plenty of times without really doing anything. That's unfortunate. What comes along with being a young man in Chicago sometimes. Because a lot of them want you in the system, and if they ain't really got you to no convictions, whatever, they try to work hard to somehow get you in the system. So I probably had to deal with that. They wanted me in the system, and I was doing everything I could to give them no reason to get me into the system. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I'm just saying, do we know how to conflict resolute anything with a police officer? The more I tell them, the more I can end up in prison. That's what I know about police. It's one of the first thing. My thing is do everything you can to not get arrested. Once you get arrested, it's a whole different level at that point. And then you really got to consider getting a lawyer involved once you've actually gotten arrested. Now, if you don't say nothing, maybe your charges get dismissed on their own and you don't say nothing. But my thing is, I don't have nothing to talk to a police officer about, because until they ready to let me go, I don't see what talking gonna help me. I give you very limited information, and then limited information is pretty much something you already know. Or I'm gonna tell you something that I believe is gonna help me out. But what can I really tell a police officer that's gonna help when you think about it? You know, if you catch me moving in the right direction, I could say I'm going home, but I got to be moving in the direction of home to even say I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what you can tell police that's gonna help you outside of you just trying to get away from that situation. You know, that's it. You know, whoever house in a certain direct. Now that's the beautiful part about me knowing a lot of people. You know, whatever way I'm headed, I just say, man, I'm trying to go to my friend house. They live on such and such, and that's it. I don't know what the problem is. I'm just trying to go to my friend house. I don't got nothing to do with whatever y'all talking about. You know, I even had one guy who I didn't cause no trouble with. He stopped me because he said I was parked in an illegal spot. He didn't do nothing while I was parked there. He waited till I started driving away for whatever reason, and he pulled me over. I was in the suburbs at the time. I lived in the city. He said your license suspended. I did not know my license was suspended. So I'm assuming he saw some information to know when my license got suspended. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you got a CDL. I was like, yeah, sir. So I don't know why my license would be suspended. I'm going to check into that immediately. He just said, well, you know what? He said, just go ahead, drive home. Because I said, that's where I'm going now. And get it taken care of. Now, see, he didn't tell me my license suspended. So anytime I'm in the wrong, I am yes, sir, no, sir, all day long because I'm trying to get away with whatever I'm doing at the time. And he let me go. Now, that wasn't no guaranteed situation, but I wasn't going to react like John once that man told me my license suspended.
Conflict resolution and understanding your surroundings.
Yeah. Sir, I'm just trying to get home. I'm going to park immediately, and I'll call him in the morning to figure out why my license suspended.
And that was chest cam footage, right? That wasn't a cell phone footage, right?
Yeah, this got to be body camera.
I mean body cam. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah.
Well,
So
we know what you mean.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like I said, like young kids, like you said, you summed it up best when you said probably from single parent homes because they just trying to explain why they in the wrong instead of getting out of Dodge. Like I
Well, no,
don't know,
I'm gonna
man. It's
give that
just
more to the suburban issue. Because why do you feel you need the cops to like you?
no, that ain't suburban because the suburban kids would have been nervous as fuck anyway. As soon as the cops would have said, they would have been going to like Truth Teller was saying. I just like I said, I just chalked this up to that whole defund the police. You can't the police can't do nothing with me. And man, listen, like Uru said, if they ain't had no body cam, if they was to turn their body cam off type of cops. So,
Right, dudes don't make it home.
they would have made
It's
it
gonna be
home.
a
They would
long
have,
way to get home.
yep, they would have made it home sore as a motherfucker.
They would have got the hot sauce treatment. Remember hot sauce stuff? They beat his legs. They would at least got that hot sauce treatment. You know what I'm saying? Would get your legs beat
Yeah,
real good.
so.
You know. Now,
So hopefully they take this as a learning lesson, you know what I mean, and become better citizens in society.
well, you know what? I hope one of them turn them on. Somebody see this and turn them on to the Roger Report, so they can see just how crazy they look. Because Tom look insane to me. Because Tom trying to tell the police officer they showed up to arrest him why McDonald's wrong. That's
I think did they kick him out without giving him his money back either?
well, I don't remember him mentioning the money. I think he got kicked out because remember that young lady was taking over the shift. So she probably kicked him out. She probably don't want to hear none of the story. But now we wasn't together. She probably don't care about none of that. She just want a clear restaurant because that's what's easier for her to do. Which makes sense to me because I done worked in fast food a couple times. It makes sense to me. You the manager coming on board. There's a problem, before your shift started. Do you really want to bring that problem and involve it in your shift? No, just get out. I don't care what happened. That's what I would do. You know, I ain't trying to end up writing some paperwork or whatever, because ain't no telling what I'm gonna have to report to the McDonald's Corporation if I let some incident actually really manifest on my shift. Now I got to explain that to the McDonald's Corporation. I don't want to do all that. No, I'd rather you just go. Police already here. I ain't finna talk to you. Look, if you don't leave, I just go outside and bring the cops in here right now. They right outside. I'm not dealing with this.
All of this trouble because they ain't have no sweet and sour sauce. Ain't this some shit? God damn.
What if it was something that's something?
God damn.
That's the crazy part. It could be something that simple too. She might have just had some nuggets and just wanted some sweet and sour sauce.
That nigga said we only got barbecue.
If you don't give me no sauce, I'm gonna come back there and get it myself. I used to work at McDonald's. I know where y'all keep the sauce.
I'm telling you, I literally think it was that. I really think it was that. Because remember, son already had a milkshake, so that means they got their order. Something happened between them getting their order and John not getting his. I mean, Tom not getting his order.
Well, Tom said whatever it was, the police was already there. That's what I'm saying. So Tom is talking about a whole different thing after the fact, but you're talking to the officers who came to arrest you. That's what they came there for, to arrest you. You are with the girl in the orange shirt. They came to arrest you, man. Why are you copping a plea with them? That's just not smart. That's what I'm saying. The officer that's not gonna help you is the one that came to arrest you. That's normally how that goes. Now, and thinking it's gonna go in a different direction over a McDonald's trespass is almost insane. Because let's keep it real, y'all. It's McDonald's. The police don't want no problem with McDonald's. McDonald's is see, we may think of it as this little burger joint, but McDonald's is a major corporation, the biggest corporation on planet Earth. Ain't no bigger than McDonald's. So police ain't really finna do too much to help you against McDonald's, the biggest corporation in the world. They're not finna help you. Now, that may not sound good, but I'm just saying from a realistic standpoint, once you get into McDonald's, you're pretty much on your own. You're going to have a real solid case against them. And you think some police officer really finna help you when it comes to McDonald's? Nah, I doubt that one.
Yeah, McDonald's got that long money.
Super long money. And police officers know that. Yeah.
McDonald's money long. So, yeah.
So who gonna help you versus McDonald's? Your goose already cooked. You trying to have beef. They make Big Macs, y'all.
Exactly. That's what I said. Like, because I was watching the video, I'm like, all right, what the hell Roger got? Like, and then I seen him come in the car and started talking to him, and I was like, nah, his energy way off. So now I'm trying to see, well, what did the chick do to get that? And it's like she ain't doing nothing. I'm like, nah, son
She
did
helped
it
him
to
get
himself.
arrested. That's what she did.
Hmm?
She helped him get arrested.
Nah, he helped himself get arrested. He already made himself the prime target once he had that attitude.
Like he did. I'm not gonna say he didn't. He did, but this is why I'm saying she helped him get arrested. Because this the thing. She want to get out and talk to the police after he already told her, don't say nothing. Okay, cool. Now maybe you could say, well, she just factored it'd probably be better if she just tell the truth. You could say that. Okay, cool. So she starts to tell the truth. Now, once John got the police officer, y'all leave or get arrested, she still wouldn't leave. She said, I want to talk to y'all so y'all can understand that we not no bad people. She was extremely concerned with her image and their image to these particular police officers. And she wouldn't stop talking. The officers kept trying to get her to stop talking. She even walked over there where John was after he was on the ground and was like, nobody's listening to me. She cared about being heard more than she cared about John.
I could go with that, but he got himself arrested.
Now, John was getting arrested when he started talking. He was getting arrested. It was just how they was going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. John, unfortunately for him, he let his ego get a hold of him, because when he came back to say, tell my hoe to come on, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for old girl. You know? So they just went. Now, I had to look again to see, did he even come onto the property when he yelled that? I remember him yelling in the
No, he was,
background.
because he was right there in front of the McDonald's. Right, he walked. He ain't even leave fully. And then he came back. He, that's what I said. Because remember he walked off and they was like, "Did we get his ID?" And then I definitely knew. I said, "Damn, he done talked himself way into it deep." When they didn't ask, when they didn't ask for your ID, but all of a sudden they want your ID. Oh shit!
Well, you know, she was, because old girl was like, well, what's his last name? You know what I'm saying? So decisions was already made at that point.
Exactly.
But why was he so close? Because he's still trying to protect her. If he would have just left her, he good. He don't have no police record. Well, heck, he don't have no conviction if he wasn't so worried about trying to protect her. So you see what I'm saying? I'm not blaming her for him getting arrested, but she just helped. That's all. But that's why he got arrested, for trying to protect that woman. Because that woman officer clearly decided, I want to get this dude. I just need a way to get this dude. So once he came back for her, that's all she needed. Now he literally got arrested for quote unquote protecting a black woman.
Yeah.
Now if she'd have just listened to him, where would she have been? She'd have been walking with him, and they'd have been down the street somewhere. And they good. So he playing games, but he playing, it's like a person, this is why they say, once you you give a dummy a little bit of information, he become dangerous. I think this is one of those scenarios. Somebody then gave that man a little bit of information, and now he got dangerous with it. But his ego and not being able to walk away from her, now he done got himself arrested because of how he used that little bit of information he had. Well, you can kind of talk crazy to the police if you want to. It's freedom of speech. So he used it. You can't tell me how to talk to my hoe. Well, as long as she consented, ain't nothing they can really do.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech, and this electricity I'm gonna give you is also free.
Yeah. Now let me go get my hoe in check. See, that's your ego. My whole bowing to these white supremacists, my mofos, just a little bit too much for my comfort. Let me show them that I got more control over her than they do.
Well, he lost that battle.
Boom, he lost it quick too.
That's a TTO. That thing over.
Yeah, he lost it quick. And that's what I'm saying. See, I don't blame people for what you did. So I can't blame her for John getting arrested. My thing is she just helped create scenarios so he will get arrested. It's his fault because he came back to get her. That's where he messed up. He should have just never came back to get her. Y'all, you got to proverbially let him die sometime. It's like Adam in the Garden of Eden. Eve ate that fruit. Adam should have been like, hey, that's between you and God. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay? Lot did the right thing, y'all. Lot was the one who was told to leave. His wife turned around to go back to where they was told to leave from. Lot kept going. Lot made it out of there. That's all I'm saying. John almost made it out of there, but he turned around for her. Sometimes you got to leave him behind. Y'all, you know what? That's how you got to operate. Sometimes it's cool. It's cool to be a nice guy, but when the scenario come up, you got to be ruthless, man. And sometimes being ruthless is let them learn the hard way. I got to go on ahead and let her get arrested because my hoe don't know what time it is. Okay, I got to let her get arrested. Now, once she gets arrested, she got a record now. I talk to her. We see what we can do with her then. But right now, she don't listen. So I got to let her get arrested. We as black men, we so honorable. We said he's trying to protect them from themselves, and unfortunately, you getting arrested sometime the cost. So, you know, sometimes you got to leave it be. But I guess we coming to a close because ain't nobody, don't sound like we got much more to say on this particular subject matter. And
you
if
can't
I
help
get
them niggas no more than we helped them today.
yeah. And I'm gonna say if I get off a half hour early, I'll be okay with that. I can live with that. You know, it's Monday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I can live with that. Now I haven't checked it. Let me check the Cash App right fast to see if anything happened on there. Oh, now I say that here come that's Tunnel Runner coming back. So I don't know. He may just be coming for after show. Tunnel Runner, what's happening, brother? Are you coming for after show? Or you want to say something before we close on out?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, when you in the law, you can convict yourself. Don't say anything if you don't have anything to say that's going to make your case better. It's better just be quiet and keep it moving. So many people get themselves in trouble by talking.
Hey, man, that's great advice, and that's real advice. You know, real talk. It's an unfortunate thing, but y'all, we gotta learn to shut up sometime. Okay. And shout out to Gold P who actually did come through this morning with a cash app. It says for Trail Bentley and Shark Sims tax, and he dropped $5.95. Shout out to you, Gold P. Appreciate you big time, my brother. Appreciate you big time. You know, yeah, and you know what? Shout out to Afro Merchant. He's saying the right. You can't say it no better than this. It's in God's hands now.
Amen. God is good.
Sometimes that's what you got to say, y'all. You know, I did what I could. I tried to say these jokers. You know, I put myself out there. These niggas won't leave. They want to tell their story. It's in God's hands now. That's all he had to do. And he probably would have been the only one not to get arrested had he done that. But no, you want to lay on swords for people. And this is what you get. So, y'all, I'm going to close it out here. It was fun to me. If y'all are new here, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Chicago time. Not where you live, but 9 a.m. Chicago time. Long live the Habitual Line Steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.